Great, here we are. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Lilith's live show about the throat chakra, your key to aligned communication and truthful self-expression. I'll be telling you what an overactive and an underactive throat chakra look and feel like and how you can balance it. For all those of you on the recording, please say hi and let me know how you're doing today. Welcome to those who are joining me live. How are you? So happy to have you here. Let's wait a minute to give everybody time to come online. So for everybody who hasn't watched the sessions about the first 4 chakras yet, you can find them right here in our circle. And the easiest way to find them is with the search function. Hi Barbie, how are you doing? You're saying you're excited, you have a feeling that your throat chakra is going through a big change recently, so this is perfect timing. Same for me, actually. It's also it's also what I'm working on at the moment, so that's very exciting. Good. Let's see who else wants to join us here. Barbie, can you go ahead and invite some people along? I have no idea how to do that myself with the new live producer. That would be amazing. Good. So for everybody who hasn't watched the first 4 sessions yet, let's start with a quick overview of the chakra system. Our chakra system consists of 7 main chakras, which are energy centers located along the spine. And I love to work with them because they are so accessible, because we can work with them on all the parts of who we are. So we can really access them on the physical, the mental, the emotional plane, and that in turn will really activate the soul level of our existence, which is why it's so amazing. So on a physical level, they correspond to specific parts of our body, which obviously also get affected by chakra imbalances. On a mental level, we can focus on the specific chakra that we want to work with using the color that's associated with it, or simply concentrating our thoughts on that part of our body. And on an emotional level, we can obviously feel into the issues that we're experiencing that are associated with that chakra. So that's why it's actually really easy to work with the chakras and to heal whatever issues we're dealing with holistically, really addressing all the levels of our being, which obviously is the only way to really heal what we're working on. Since the issue is always present on all levels, body, mind, heart, and soul. What so many of us are doing, and I know I also, that's always the first thought that comes to mind, right? So I have this pain in my lower back, for example, and then I try to maybe not sit so much or do more yoga, try not to lift heavy things, and that's all great, and that's necessary to address the issue on the level of the body. But what about where the issue comes from, right? So we need to go much deeper. All of our issues obviously originate at a soul level, and it's very hard for us to grasp that level unless we are, for example, trained in shamanic studies. So what we can do is when we have an issue like that, when our system makes us notice that something is wrong, obviously address it on that level, but also look for the corresponding, like where the issue shows up on the other levels, right? What thoughts are associated with it, what emotions are associated with it, and work with it that way to really get back to the source. And if we can see what chakra is involved in this, then that's a really easy way for us to work with that issue and really address it on all levels. And what we want to do in working with the chakras is to balance them. Because whenever we have trouble with something, it's either because of an overactive or an underactive chakra. And that, like I just said, causes us problems on all levels. Even if we notice it on one level first, that's probably because we haven't noticed the problem on the other levels. Like, for example, when something has already manifested in the body, well, then we haven't paid close attention to our thoughts and our feelings before, and that's why it ends up being expressed by the body. So these imbalances then show up on the physical, on the psychological, on the emotional, on the spiritual, and on the financial level. All right? Let me see if there's any questions so far, any more comments. Oh, thank you so much, Annie. Wish I could see you too. Yeah, so I tried to put on blue today because that's the color of the throat chakra, and I had so much trouble with some of the other ones, like the sacral chakra and the navel chakra, because I really don't wear things in orange or yellow. So I'm really happy that this is a color that I actually wear. And this t-shirt is actually very special. It looks simple, but it's the t-shirt that I was wearing when my son was born. It's very dear to me, and I always only wear it for very special occasions. I'm happy to wear it today. I'm wearing a really nice skirt as well, which you can't see right now. It's my own design, had it made in Bali. Little glimpse of what's ahead. Next year I'm gonna bring out my own collection of clothes, shamanic clothes. That's gonna be really cool. Hi Eilish, amazing that you're here as well. Good, let me know if you have any questions so far, or if this is all making sense. So most people in our Western societies have an overactive first and second chakra, and sometimes also an overactive third chakra. And the other 4 to 5 are mostly like dormant, right? So that means if that is the case, then we are very preoccupied with our physical existence, with our safety, with money, with physical issues that show up in the body, with our sexuality maybe also, like nothing wrong with sex or money obviously, but if our life evolves around that, like our physical self, that's obviously very one-sided, right? It's a 3D reality that's not so fun. And obviously if you are here, and it might also be that you belong to the other category of people who have very active higher chakras and not so active lower chakras, okay? And if that is the case, then your energy tends to extend upwards a lot, and then you need a lot of grounding to stay present here in your physical self. So what our goal really is to activate all of the chakras evenly so that the energy can flow freely and flow from the lowest to the highest chakra and give us access to higher consciousness and the soul level of our existence while we remain grounded here in our bodies at the same time. So that was an overview of a rather complex subject. So do let me know if it all makes sense before we jump in with the throat chakra. Shamanic clothes, I know. I've designed my own clothes for quite a while, and whenever I go to Asian countries, I always have them made. I've done this in India and in Thailand, and now in January I did it in Bali, and in Bali they have these amazing fabrics already, so I might not even have to design the prints. I might just be able to find them. I'm just gonna see if I can show you the skirt. It's my own design as well. Can you see it? It's a short skirt. It's just beautiful. So yeah, and there's also obviously going to be jewelry. I've designed my own jewelry for a long time as well. Most of you know my moonstone necklaces. I always have a very limited number of them though, so I mostly just give them away to the members, to my apprentices, or one-on-one clients. And see these earrings? They're handmade in Bali as well, and aren't they like so shamanic? I'm also going to sell these next year. It's really exciting. Yeah, thank you, Barbie, for inviting everybody. Hi, Charlotte. Amazing that you're here as well. don't know why I can't invite people myself anymore. I used to always do that at the start of a live. Well, good, let's dive in with the 5th chakra. It's the throat chakra, and in Sanskrit it's called Vishudi Chakra. It's located at the throat, and the color associated with it is blue, like we said. And it's neither really a dark blue nor a light blue, but more like something in between. Or maybe indigo is the right description. So this chakra is all about communication, right? Truthful, aligned communication, and ultimately self-expression. Okay? When it is balanced, we are able to communicate and express ourselves freely, authentically, creatively. We can clearly state our needs and boundaries, and we can express love easily so that our relationships flourish. We're able to live according to our own truth, and it's as though we sing the song of our soul out into the world. Unfortunately, though, imbalances in the throat chakra are quite common because, well, often for the higher chakras to be really balanced, we have to start with the lower chakras, and hardly anybody goes through the trouble of going through them step by step and again whenever they get out of balance. So it's quite common to experience imbalances here. So let me walk you through the imbalances, what imbalances in your throat chakra might look and feel like. First, we'll start with the underactive throat chakra, but not all of the things that I say will be true for you, obviously, even if your throat chakra is underactive, okay? If some of them are true, then you'll know this is you. Okay, Eilish, you say you need to start saving for the skirt and earrings. You're very sweet. Actually, Eilish, you're in the apprenticeship, and at the end of the apprenticeship, everybody, along with your certificate, you get a pair of these as a gift from me. I was actually really happy. I handed out the first pair to Martina, Barbie, and Emily have just finished as the first 3 in their group of 8. So I'm really happy I get to give away earrings already. That was beautiful when she chose it. Good, so let's dive in. Underactive throat chakra, okay? If this is you, then you might find it challenging to say what you're truly feeling. You might struggle with making your voice heard. You might know exactly what your mission is, but you might struggle to express it to the outside world. You might also struggle to express your needs and your boundaries. You might also feel like you're wearing a mask and you pretend to be someone you're not. And you might have a fear of speaking. You might talk in a low voice and seem shy to others. You might find it difficult to listen to your inner voice and express it. And you might find it difficult to translate your thoughts into aligned speech and action. So who feels spoken to here? Just so you know, my son's around. He's alone in the living room, so he might come in at some point. Say hi. He gets too bored. Yay and woohoo! Says Barbie and Eilish. Oh yeah, Barbie, you have to choose yours. See, these are the ones I was thinking of for you. They go so well with your hair. Or you can choose. I showed them to you in the video the other day. I don't know if you had time yet to watch the replay. Good. Eilish is saying all of this is true for you. Okay, well then you know where you're at. Good. So how can we go about balancing an underactive throat chakra? So the most important thing here is to learn how to speak up, right? So Eilish, for example, you're in the apprenticeship, right? So just come to our sharing sessions and just practice with us in the safe space to just speak up and let us hear your truth, right? Obviously, depending on how strong your imbalance is, like this is general advice for everybody, not just Eilish, obviously, you might start with opening up to a friend regularly who you feel safe with to express your truth. You might also like to speak to somebody who you're not so close to, like a therapist, if that makes you feel safe and comfortable. And if your imbalance is not so strong, then you could try something more daring, like joining a choir or a theater group. Anything where you learn how to really express yourself through your voice. And you might also find that you have to start working with your heart chakra first, okay, to dive deeper into your feelings and learn how to listen to your inner voice. And then it will be easier to then express yourself. So I'll talk about more ways to balance the throat chakra later on, because there's quite a few ways. Like the further we go up, the more the ways to balance it become the same for underactive and overactive. So let's see so far, was this helpful? Let me know in the comments. And also let me know if you have other ideas of balancing an underactive throat chakra. What ideas come to you? Barbie, you're liking the earrings. Yay! I saw these in Bali and I was like, oh my God, these are amazing. Charlotte, you're also saying that this is a textbook example of you, the underactive throat chakra. Yeah, I feel this might be many of us sensitive women, like women in general, we're not very much encouraged to speak our truth, right, as we grow up. Good. So what happens if your throat chakra is overactive on the other hand, right? That was pretty much me for a longer time. So I'm the other on the other end of the scale, and some of you might find that this is true for you too. So if your throat chakra is overactive, then you might tend to talk too much. You might also talk very loudly. You might also scream at others easily. You might easily get caught up in gossiping. You might complain a lot. You might find it difficult to listen to others because you can't stop yourself from speaking. You might love to be the center of attention and make yourself heard in excessive or aggressive ways. You might also use your speech to influence others or even manipulate them. And you might also find yourself lying a little bit here and there or exaggerating things. Now that was pretty much me. Some of these things I didn't do, but others, yeah. And I copied my dad. My dad is exactly like that. He's also a lot less like it now, but like when I was growing up, it was pretty much him, and I only had him since my mom was gone, so I definitely copied all of this. So I've never had a lot of trouble expressing myself, but I did it in ways that also didn't really serve me, right? Because it wasn't a completely truthful version of who I am. I really had to learn how to become more vulnerable and more true. Good. Like, who else feels like you have an overactive throat chakra? And you're saying makes total sense to me, and with my physical asthma I had as a child. Oh yeah, my dad also had asthma. Yeah, so obviously there's a lot of issues that are associated with this, and asthma is in the lungs, so it's exactly between the throat and the heart. And that's why I always advise to not just work on one chakra separately, but to work on all of them, because the issues, the imbalances aren't only at the chakra itself, but also between the chakras, right? Charlotte is saying you married the overactive throat chakra. Yeah, there you go. I think this is pretty much a typical male-female power dynamic in a relationship. Good. So how do we go about balancing an overactive throat chakra? A great practice is to learn how to be silent. In a conversation, when you feel like speaking up, instead practice giving the other person more room to express herself. Another important mindfulness practice is to watch your words. Which words do you use that have a negative effect on yourself and those who you speak to? And what are more positive words that you could replace them with? So here's my own example. I used to always speak French with my partner, the father of my son. We got together 7 years ago, and we've been separated for most of our son's life. We just got to get back together half a year ago. And we used to speak in French because he's French. I lived in France before meeting him, actually. And so that was our language. And at the time where I lived in France, or rather I lived in Monaco actually, I was engaged to be married to a man who loved me more than anything, but who I had a very destructive relationship with. So when I met Lou's dad, it's like the language carried over those patterns, and it was very easy for me to complain and to scream, like all of those things. It was just all of my natural overactive throat chakra tendencies were super exaggerated by the language. And so what Lou's dad and I did in the end when we got back together in January is we actually switched languages. We talk in English now, and we find that we have like very little stress in our communication since. So this is how important the words are, right? So don't forget about that, right? We all have our ways of, even if it's not about languages, but just the words, our ways of expressing things that might actually not be helpful. Like think about the things that you say to yourself all the time and, replace them with something that's more positive. So yeah, if you have an overactive throat chakra, you could also create positive affirmations and repeat them to yourself out loud. And these should be about the truth of who you are, right? The real you, not the exaggerated version. Good. Is this helpful? Let me know in the comments, please. And what other ideas of balancing an overactive throat chakra come to you? Alish also married to the overactive throat chakra. Oh dear. Yeah, men can learn this too, right? Men can also learn how to balance their chakras. And you're saying our words are spells as they are vibration. Exactly. I love that. Our words are spells. Barbie, you're saying this is so beautiful. I can relate from my past relationship, finding new ways to communicate because in the past it was very unhealthy. Yeah, absolutely. Good. So for both under and overactive, there are 3 balancing tools that you can use. Singing, or just sounding even, will activate an inactive throat chakra and release tension from an overactive throat chakra, okay? And you don't have to be a good singer for this, okay? So just sing for yourself when nobody can hear you. If you want to, make it a daily practice to sing your favorite song, for example. Move to it if you feel like it. I love singing to my son, so it feels very soothing to both of us. And whenever I sing in the evening, I can feel lots of tensions that are just, released. And I can also feel how I use my voice in a way that might not be so helpful. Like in doing these lives, when I talk a lot, I have so many sessions. Most of you only see me here once a week, but in my programs, I have so many more sessions, right? Or with my one-on-one clients. So I talk a lot. And then I have a 4-year-old at home who I also talk a lot to. I used to always have trouble with my voice. And since I focused on singing more, they're completely gone. Okay, so if you have an underactive throat chakra, then go for louder, more forceful, expressive songs. And if you have an overactive throat chakra, then go for more quiet, melodious songs or mantras. For all those of you who are in the transformation, we're going to work with mantras. That's going to be our daily balancing practice for the throat chakra. I'm recording a beautiful mantra for you, which is all about activating our feminine power through our throat chakra. So that's going to be really powerful. And another amazing practice that you can use is Ujjayi Pranayama. Many of you might know this. I have shown it to you in the circle before. If you can't find the video, let me know. When my Facebook account got deactivated at the beginning of this year and I had to create a new one, lots of videos got lost. So if I don't have it anymore, but you'd like to learn this, then do let me know. I can do another video about this. Obviously, if you're in the transformation or the apprenticeship, then you have the beautiful recording of the Ujjayi Pranayama. And This is week 5, where you're going to start practicing it. So here we contract the vocal cords as we breathe to make a slight snoring sound. And as we do that, we breathe more slowly and deeply, and that is relaxing and freeing. So more air will move through your throat than it normally does, and that removes any blockages that you might have, and the vocal cords get strengthened at the same time. So through this practice, those with an underactive throat chakra will strengthen their voice, and those with an overactive throat chakra will practice mindfulness when it comes to expressing themselves. Good. And another general practice that you can use, whether your throat chakra is inactive, it's never completely inactive, obviously, is underactive or overactive. As you do your yoga practice, it doesn't matter whether it's an asana, a pranayama, or a meditation practice, focus your mind on your throat and see a ball of blue light there, glowing evenly. Right? When you have an underactive throat chakra, then your light is not glowing as strongly as it should, and the wheel isn't turning as fast as it should. So your intention is to really make it glow more evenly, more brightly, and make it turn a little bit faster. If your throat chakra is overactive, you will find if you focus on it, then your throat chakra is like probably very bright and turning very fast. Okay, so here your intention is to release some of that energy. And normally the way we release this energy is upwards to the other chakras. So the next one would be Ajna chakra, here, the third eye chakra, which we're going to talk about in a month's time. Good. Does all of this make sense? Let me know in the comments. Barbie is saying breaking out of past patterns is so important. It absolutely is. And the problem with it is that if we approach it only on the practical level, it's almost impossible. Like I used to scratch my skin all the time for years. And whenever I tried to just stop, it just wouldn't work. Like I even tried lots of mindfulness work on it and lots of tips and tricks by experts and stuff, but nothing ever worked until I went all the way back to the soul issue. And then I just stopped. Then all of a sudden it was easy. So that's why it's so great to work with the chakras, because as we work on the physical, the emotional, the mental planes, that's obviously when the path through the soul becomes free, and that's when we can work on it. Singing, music, and sport, one of my healers in childhood. Yeah, absolutely, for me too, Annie. And drawing was also one of the things I did all night long sometimes. Singing has become so powerful for me to express my voice. I'm guided to sing a lot of shamanic songs in my sessions, and it's been so transformative. I love that, Barbie. Yes, we had the discussion in the apprenticeship, right? That often as we let spirit work through us in doing healing sessions on other people, it naturally happens that we are starting to use our voice, which obviously can have a very powerful healing effect. So that's beautiful. Charlotte, you're saying makes perfect sense. Good, I love that. So who feels like working on the throat chakra is key for you at this point in your life? So the best way to start working with your chakras is to start with the first chakra, the root chakra, and then work your way up. It's hard to balance the higher chakras if the lower chakras are not balanced. So the higher chakras are the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra. They represent our divine eternal self, the connection to Father Sky, to our inspiration and our soul. And the lower chakras are the root, the sacral, and the navel chakra, and they represent our embodied physical earthbound selves, the connection to Mother Earth, our primal power. And then, of course, there's the heart chakra that connects both of them, that connects our earthly existence with our divine one. So what we want to do is balance the energy in our chakras, chakra by chakra, and let it rise upwards from the root to the crown chakra. And if we do that fully, we end up with a relaxed but strong body, with a calm, focused mind, an open, joyful heart, and deeply connected to our soul's purpose. I'm guiding through that journey in my chakra healing series, where we focus on one chakra at a time, and where you receive short and sweet daily practices for each chakra, as well as deep healing ceremonies. Because the thing is that the key for change in any area of our life is a combination, or rather a series of steps, right? First, you have to create the awareness of the core issue, right? Which I hope this session has given you. And then you need deep healing to address the core issue. Then it's not done, then you need to address, you need to integrate that healing into your daily life. So you need a daily practice to advance the healing process further and actually see tangible change. And that's when you start to exchange your self-sabotaging attempts to hide your true self by keeping quiet or distorting your truth for aligned communication with everyone around you, and a clear path to expressing yourself in deeply satisfying ways that will also benefit your relationships. If you want support on this journey to make it all so much easier and so much more fun, and to have everything you need in one place, the daily practices, the healing sessions, the accountability, the opportunity to share and ask questions, you can join us in the transformation if you haven't yet. The transformation is a 3 months long program and a complete upgrade for body, mind, heart, and soul. And the chakra healing series is a free bonus that I'm including in the transformation for the last time now. Okay, so if you want it, now is the time. The big highlight of the transformation, which is why most people join, is studying Shamanic Journey, humanity's oldest and most powerful healing practice. And you can learn it in just 3 months with me, all while pampering yourself with beautiful practices, meditations, yoga workouts, breathing practices. Shamanic Journey basically means, being able to access yourself at the deepest level, so that you can heal body, mind, heart, and soul, so that you can own your unique gifts. It means that you can find your purpose, step into your calling, master manifesting, and just be confident in being you. Okay? I will guide you deep within, step by step, so that you can really face your fears, transform with ease and grace, heal on the deepest level, and experience more joy and fulfillment on all levels of your life. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially. You will basically just become a clear channel for spirit and master your life and just love who you are. And isn't that what life is all about, right? So Shamanic Journey really is the most amazing way to access higher consciousness. And once you have learned the process, you will be able to use it all your life to have an instant connection to all of life and your personal spirit guides who can answer all of your questions and help you on your path to your best life, step by step. Because all the answers are already inside of you. All you need is the key, and Shamanic Journey is it. And on your journeys, you will learn how to work with your inner child, how to do shadow integrations to process painful emotions and pains in your body, how to work with the feminine archetypes to nourish your womanhood and step into that version of yourself that you really want to be. And many of you are already in the transformation or in the apprenticeship. Alicia's saying it definitely is. I want to stand in my truth now and express it freely. And you're in the apprenticeship. You're on that path already. So you're doing great, Alice. Just do it step by step. I promise you'll get there. Barbie is saying to help me step into my power and mission more. You're also on an amazing path to doing just that. So just keep doing what you're doing, and I know you'll get there. Charlotte, you're saying you also need to work on all of your chakras. Yeah, so good. I think that's everything I wanted to say about the throat chakra and the transformation. I have given you the link to the transformation in the description. I'm also going to pop it into the comments so you can check it out. There's lots more great things I could say about it. We have weekly live sessions. We have monthly new moon and full moon rituals that are really about manifesting. So letting go what no longer serves you, welcoming in what you want to really experience. And it's designed to fit into every schedule. The practices are powerful but short. The daily ones are just 10 minutes long, so you can really see amazing progress in a little amount of time, as little as 2 hours per week. And you get all the recordings of all the sessions if you can't make it live. So you can do them whenever it's convenient for you. It's really about a safe, high vibe space for you online, where you can share about your fears and hopes and really be in this together. I feel like we all need this, especially this year, growing together, emerging brighter from this very intense year. And this is also great for all those of you who are not sure that you want to be healers yet. You need more clarity on your calling. You want to focus on your own healing journey first, and you're done struggling through this on your own. I'm also including a 2-week course for you for free, which is called Find Your Calling. It's really amazing. It's 2 weeks of really getting crystal clear on what your calling is. And obviously, if you want to have a chat about joining the transformation, I'm happy to do that. I'm always happy to get to know you all better. So just send me a PM and I will send you the link to schedule it. Good, and I'm going to stay online for a little bit longer in case you have questions about the transformation or the sessions, then hit me with them. And while you type your questions or your sharings, I will sum up what you've learned here today. Your throat chakra is your key to aligned communication and powerful self-expression, experiencing yourself as somebody deserving of being seen and heard and living your truth. Your task is to balance your throat chakra. So now you know whether your chakra is underactive or overactive. Now you can choose a daily or a weekly practice that fits your needs. I always recommend to choose a short daily one to actually really see change fast. If your issues go deep, then you will obviously also have to add more, deeper healing sessions. And you can do that by joining us for the healing sessions inside of the transformation. Good. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me here. I hope that you got amazing insights on how to balance your throat chakra and that you will implement them right away, because there's no point in listening to all of this if you don't go out and actually do something with this information. Rabbi is saying patience and trust, no rush. Exactly, absolutely. I'm not a very patient person, but yeah, trusting is definitely so important. Like we need to really, we can actually really surrender to life. And that obviously doesn't mean not doing anything, right? That means actually getting active, but doing it in the right way, at the right time, in an aligned way. And sometimes it's difficult to figure that out. But the best way to do it is always calm your minds, flow into your heart space like I'm teaching you to. And from there, the next step is always clear. You're so welcome, Aidish. Good. I'll see you all again right here at the same time next week to talk about money and healers. It's going to be a really cool session. And I can't wait to welcome some of you into the transformation over the next few days. Those of you who are already in the transformation, I will see you later today for our sharing session on Zoom. Obviously also my apprentices. And for the transformation members, the throat chakra healing sessions will happen next Sunday, so tomorrow in a week. And obviously there will be replays too, as always. Good. Lots of love your way, beauties. Mwah.